there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Okay, thank you, Bruce.
I have one question, Bruce. Will you now proceed with citation or whatever it is you do on the high grass and weeds on Birchway that we talked about earlier?
Isn't that the code enforcement officer, Bruce, that does that?
Yes,
Yeah, but that's under him as well.
the code enforcement officer, just as a refresher here, we had issued, the code enforcement officer issued citations actually back in, if I recall, October, November, and due to the Mr. Pacini's legal counsel has been granted several continuances. The last case was supposed to have been on March 16th. That's now been continued until mid-June. So that's where we are at this point. But citations have been issued for those infractions.
Well, for what? For the high weeds?
Yes, for all the property maintenance issues on those properties.
Well, we can't do anything about the high weeds now? Maybe I misunderstood what John said, but he thought perhaps that was not covered and that we could. Did you get that impression, Kim?
Yeah, I took it that Mr. Smith is going to start working, set aside all that to start working as far as the board's concerned and just going.
Well, I'm gonna talk to the.
Whatever you can do, you gotta get it done. I can't take, I mean.
I understand, and I'm gonna talk to his counsel, and I said I will go to court with Bruce. I think the issue is if Mark
Me
needs,
too.
if Mark recites him, the odds are it'll be beyond June for the next citation. So the earliest date is what's pending now. Yeah. So if there's a way to speed it up, we'll look. But it's unlikely, other than getting them to do something, which I know I'm not going to sell that to you.
Well, can't you cite them for something now?
For years.
Yeah, can't you cite them for something now? There's a list of like 75 people, I'm guessing 50 people that have been cited last month for exterior property, for...
I think the court will probably treat the ongoing violations as just that. I'm not sure if we cite somebody for high weeds and ultimately by the time we get to court their weeds are still high, I think that covers that time period. Well, we can double check to the extent it doesn't if we need to recite them, and Mark can do that.
Excuse me, Mr.
Okay,
Smith.
thanks.
Versus when those citations were issued to the current date as we sit here now. It has gotten much worse.
Yeah, I don't doubt
The
it.
parking thing is now collapsing, and he's parking a vehicle on there. Okay, that is a danger to everybody around him. That thing lets loose, that vehicle's gone.
Okay, Joy,
Okay,
when we
there
have people out,
should be
we'll have to
something
look
you
at
can
everything.
do right now, adding to those to make it more urgent to get a sooner court date.
I don't know that the magistrate.
You've got a legal page in it, I'm giving you an explanation of the natural
I understand.
eyesight of what's going on. If you would look, take the pictures that I took 3 years ago, and take pictures today, 10 times worse.
Okay, Kim, we'll see if we can get
Yes.
that moving forward.
Yes.
Okay.
The parks aren't even one reason.
Okay. Now, the next thing is Public Works, Dawn. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe everybody has received a copy of my operations report for the month of March. I have a few additional items I'd like to cover real quick. We've had the department working over in the Park, Cecil Park here, preparing the restrooms for the upcoming Easter egg hunt this coming Saturday. I'm happy to report that all the fixtures are working and they're working properly, and we've been busy patching holes where the birds have been coming into the buildings. So we'll have that ready for the Easter egg hunt on Saturday. I do have a meeting with the chairman of Parks tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock to discuss the ongoing maintenance issues that we're involved with over at the park. And I'm happy to report that we've got a pretty comprehensive list of things that need to be done over there.
Yeah.
Also, moving forward with the repairs on the paver. I'm curious as to where we're heading with the paver at this particular time.
That's what I was going to ask you.
What is everybody's opinion? My opinion, and I know that it has been expressed to you many times, that I just feel that I don't agree with putting $6,200 into a piece of equipment that's only worth $8,000. But I mean, I'd like to hear from all the board members and hear what they have to think.
I mean, Bill, you and I have talked before. My opinion is, I would like to see our Public Works Department do some paving. If you can sit here and assure me that we can pave with the paver that we have now, I'm more than happy to put my support behind your, you know, your expertise and vote to repair the one that we have. So, but I just need some assurance from you that, you know, we're not going to come mid-year and say, sorry, we were wrong, we can't actually get anything done.
We can't actually what's in it.
Get anything done.
I
So
mean,
if we
there's-
don't get it repaired, we're not going to be
That's
able
what I
to.
said. I'm okay with repairing the one that we have.
Yeah, we're at the point right now where a decision must be made. We either move forward with the repairs or we take a look at the other bids that came in for the track paver. I have reported to all the board members the opinion of the service technician out at Rudd Equipment. And he said in his report that our paver was in remarkably good shape for its years, and it also has relatively low hours on it. So with that being said, from somebody who knows pavers far better than I do, I can only rely on the opinion of the people we have looking at that thing at Rudd Equipment, and they tell me that it's worth putting the money into.
Well, you know, one of the things that I've noticed in the past year or two that we've done with the paver is we have paved some things like some of the alleys and stuff. But I mean, just tonight it was brought up the fact that Hahn Road is in such bad shape, which we know. King Road is another one that's exactly like that. And we obviously don't have the money to spend on miles and miles of these roads. But if you could take a paver and go out and pave a half mile or a mile every year with our public works on some of these roads, you'd make a huge impact on some of our residents. And that's what I'm saying. Would you be willing to get 4 weeks of paving in this year?
Well, that's a manpower issue there, Mr. Chairman. I'm not sure what I have one person on workman's comp right now, and I have another person retiring this year. So I'm really not sure if I have enough staffing to commit to that heavy of a schedule of paving 4 weeks out of the year and still getting the rest of the work done. But we have
The trucks to do it.
Pardon me?
In addition to the manpower, we don't have the trucks to do it.
I think we do have the trucks.
We have the trucks. It's a slow operation. It's not a high production operation because we're using the trucks that we have in-house. We're not having the materials shipped from the plant by an independent contractor on triaxles. Our biggest trucks are capable of carrying 16 tons, and we only have 2 of those trucks. We have 4 other trucks that are capable of carrying approximately 6 tons and 7 tons at best. So again, it goes to the rounds that you have going on down at the asphalt plant. Again, the larger the truck, the more asphalt, and you start getting into rotations with the trucks down at the plant. And of course, if you're at the Lane plant, their trucks come first, and sometimes you find yourself sitting there. So you're sometimes not as productive as you'd like to be in the middle of paving
Let me
operations.
ask you this question. What are we looking at from a paving standpoint?
Cindy, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
What did you
What
say?
are we looking at from a paving standpoint?
As far as roads this year,
Not specific roads, but how many weeks, how much time?
if I got 3 solid weeks in this year, I'd be happy with that. We could probably address 4 roads, maybe 5 roads in that period of time.
But those are alleys.
They're basically alleyways. Some of the roads that we're talking about require much more than just paving over top of them. There's a lot of preparation that would go into paving a road like Hahn or the Coleman Road. Because if we went in here and we overlaid that 1.5 inches without doing the substructural repairs, the following year those things would reflect back out in that pavement that we just put down. So.
Not to put you on the spot, but it's my understanding that you plan to pave more than just alleys. Am I wrong from our conversations?
Microphone, please.
I have a couple of roads like King Road, the lower end. We could certainly address that. I wouldn't want to commit to paving the entire length of King Road until we actually saw what the water company was
And
doing.
Laurel Hill is another one that's terribly bad too, that needs to
And
be.
Laurel
And that's-
Hill is something that I need to address immediately, even before that paver gets back to us. I'm gonna have to go out there and end dump and use a front loader to spread some scratch level material on that road to make it passable for those people out there.
And the remainder of Grange Road, is that what you call Muggy Hill?
On Guy Hill, yes. I think that's that's a little too long, and we have plans for that next year for a soil stabilization
Right.
and I think a full template of asphalt for that road.
I mean, just as long as the understanding is our plan is to do more than just alleys, correct?
We're not, our employees are not a paving crew.
I understand that, but from a cost perspective, we don't have $5 million to put out. As much as we would all like to wave our magic wands and come up
We don't.
with a money tree vector, we can't. So
Yeah.
we need, if we're gonna put the money into a paver, we need to have some sort of improvement. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's not exactly the way a contractor would do it.
That's been the problem for too long, where we just put patches over Red Dog roads, and a year or 2 years later, we have problems.
I have a staffing issue that has to be addressed. I mean, one of the things I have to have is the staff to do that kind of operation. It's an all-hands operation. If we're out paving, there's other work that's not getting done. I use Jimmy Kaufman, our mechanic out there, to drive the truck, so when he's out with us paving, there's no work going on in the garage either, so. Yeah, and I have a guy on the mower.
You know, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I feel, and maybe I misunderstood, that this conversation we're having now is different than the one when I came down to Public Works, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, and I'm not trying to call you out, but we need to do some paving in-house, and I'm
Oh,
not saying we need to pave.
I'm not saying that I can't, I'm just saying, given the current staffing levels that I have right now, I'm down one guy. I don't expect him to be back until September.
But some of these things, okay, that we're talking about are roads that will never get paved any other way. And I mean, if we've been able to put down even 2 inches onto Han Road for a little bit, that would have alleviated some of their problems out there, Bill.
Andy, you're wasting your money if you do
I don't
that.
want to see double roads paved without 3 inches of binder, 1.5 inches of top. So all we do is throw money away.
But still, I mean, if you'd have been able to do what you have to do out there, whether, you know.
Andy, that road will eat our budget away.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but you still, I mean, King Road is a perfect example, Laurel Hill, I mean, more than just alleys we can do with a paver.
I have $110,000 for asphalt.
I mean, you did some at Kelso Road last year.
We did, we scrapped some of that, we paved some of that. We did. That was a joint operation between Mount Pleasant and Cecil Township.
Tom, what do you think?
I think I'll make a motion to authorize the repairs to the paver.
There's been a motion, is there a second?
I already seconded it.
Okay, any other further discussion?
I'm against it, but vote yes, because we need to get paper to get this thing started. I thought we should do a lot of this maintenance in-house, adjustments and stuff like that could be done in-house, so it's very simple. I worked on all this kind of equipment, and all that was to be done.
Okay. All right, then it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. It passed 4-1.
Thank you.
Okay.